Hello everyone, welcome back to Teacup Tarot. My name is Reya, and in today's video we are going to be looking into what messages you need to receive for the new spiritual cycle. And in this new spiritual cycle, essentially we have three teachers leading us. So we have Mother Mary, we have Mahavtar Babaji, and we have Radha Rani. So of course you can pick according to one personality if that is how it speaks to you, or you can pick according to a pile, or you can pick according to the feathers. Okay, so there's no right or wrong. Okay, I'll give you some time and then we start with pile 1. Hello, and if you've selected pile 1, these are the messages that you need to receive for the next spiritual cycle. Now let's take a look at what messages are coming through for you. Now, for you, the path in the next spiritual cycle is very simple. It is a path of love, it is a path of peace, and it is a path of surrender. Surrender to the highest power that you believe in. Surrender to a spiritual teacher who could probably guide you in whichever way you're walking. But in all ways, things are supposed to be simple. Nothing complicated for you, nothing that is extraordinarily difficult, simple things. Yeah, and once again, remember this, the challenges that may come for you are going to be in your relationships. So if sometimes you have this tendency of being right, Mother Mary is encouraging you to instead be more peaceful, to let the other person be right sometimes, and it is okay to not press it on somebody else that you are right. The possibility that you are 99 times is actually there, but are you able to let it go in the name of God is what is going to be a challenge for you. Remember, your path is simple, your path is that of peace, your path is that of healing. It's a simple path. Yeah, so please choose it wisely is what Mother Mary is here to tell you. And she is telling you, when it comes to your spiritual life, sometimes you come across obstacles, but those obstacles are actually meant for you to grow at that particular point. When an obstacle or a test is in your path, it is actually there to make sure that you move to the next level, to make sure that you've learned your lesson right and you're moving on to the next level. See, it's almost like that. When we are in school, we actually have a yearly test, and after the yearly test we move to the next class. Okay, so that's exactly how it is when it comes to you. So these obstacles are not to throw you off balance, they're actually here to elevate your level is what is coming through. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. Interestingly, sometimes you may feel like pile 1 you do not belong, or you don't have sort of a plan to move accordingly, or sometimes in which case you may feel like you don't know what the next step is. In which case you just have to understand that whatever help is supposed to be given to you, whatever guidelines are supposed to be given to you, they are already been given to your soul, and you will know exactly what the next step is. So if you feel like you don't belong, or if you feel like you don't really have the help that you need immediately, help is available. You may not always see it is what is coming through. Yeah, you may have a strong longing for belonging, like I just wish there were people around me who were doing what I'm doing or walking my spiritual path. The thing is, they are actually walking with you, but you may not realize it. Yeah, remember this, you've been actually walking this path for way longer, and help is available to you. One thing that you have to keep in mind is not to be too spiritual. Okay, now it means that you have to give equal importance to your material life, you have to give equal importance to your career, you have to give equal importance to earning money, and at the same time you have to ensure that you're giving good amount of time to your spiritual life. So for you, nothing extreme. Remember, Mother Mary, she was a mother, she was a wife, she was a part of a community, and she did her job well. And that is exactly what your path is. So remember to strike a balance when it comes to everything, to ensure that you're bringing about harmony in every relationship, and to ensure that you are non-judgmental at every step of the way. Remember, you are the source of peace, and a person who's a source of peace cannot be judgmental. Yeah, just keep that in mind, because I feel like you're going to be needing that in your relationships in the future. Remember, if you've made mistakes in your past, especially when it comes to your relationships or especially when it comes to certain people, it's okay to ask for forgiveness. In fact, if you cannot ask for forgiveness from that specific individual, turn to God and tell God that these are the mistakes that I feel I have made and forgive me for it. So, the most important thing for you is to step away from your daily routine sometimes. Think about what you've done wrong and then turn to God for forgiveness, because God is ever forgiving and God always forgives. So forgiveness and asking for forgiveness is very important, because that is a sign that you're humble. Yeah, and God loves the humble. That is something you have to remember. Okay, so if you've made any mistakes in the past, it's okay. We all make mistakes, and just asking for forgiveness is going to be setting you free. And remember, this practice is going to be important for your upcoming life. How beautiful is this? Where you have Mother Mary, you're obviously going to be having angels, because she just attracts that. And with you as well, remember, there is a guardian angel and you are not alone. Yeah, so whenever you feel like you need that extra amount of love, you feel like you need that extra amount of support, your angels, your spirit guides are always around you. And if you feel like there is this certain thing that you're struggling with, you can always call upon Mother Mary for guidance and she will assist you too. But remember, you have a strong guardian angel with you all the time, who's supporting you and whose only job is to support you in your process. Remember, when it comes to your spiritual life, sometimes you may feel like you need a break, or you may feel like, I'm so tired that I just don't want to do this anymore. And that happens sometimes in your spiritual life. But the most important thing that time is not to quit. It is okay to take a break. So it's like, if you just want to spend one day being a normal individual, doing normal things, it's absolutely okay. Remember, for you the path is that of balance. So it is important for you to have fun, to make sure that you're being a normal human being and not a spiritual being having a human experience sometimes, and do something different. It's absolutely okay. It's the middle path for you, nothing extreme. So when you get tired, replenish yourself, do something fun and come back. The spiritual path is a lifelong process. It's not something that is like a marathon and you have to win it. Okay, go slow, go steady, but keep walking. That is the message for you. And interestingly, the most important thing for you, pile 1, is affirmations. Because for you, what happens is, sometimes you struggle a lot, and that struggle that is happening in your external life can then become a part of your body. Okay, so what happens with you, the things that are going wrong in your body are actually related to your aura. They're actually related to your vibrations. So then it becomes important that you work on affirmations. Once again, affirmations like, I am healthy, my body is healthy, my body is a temple, my body is nourished, and I am the best version of myself. Whatever affirmations, I'll try and leave a link to an affirmation book that I particularly use from Louise Hay, and if you want to use it, you're more than welcome to do that, because she's helped me a lot in my own spiritual practice and in my affirmation practice. So maybe that can help you. Okay, so any illness in your body, you can heal it through affirmations as well, or anything that you're struggling with, affirmations may help you a great deal. Along with that, crystal therapy can actually help you. Now, when it comes to crystal therapy, for you, the crystal that will help you a lot is rose quartz. Okay, so maybe you can carry a rose quartz with you all the time, or you can just keep it on a desk or whichever place that you want to. Or an amethyst, once again, can be really helpful for you, because sometimes what happens is you have a tendency of absorbing the negative energies of other individuals. Amethysts help a lot with that. So when it comes to crystal therapy, that can help you when it comes to your next spiritual cycle. Now, one step that is most important for you is pranayama, deep breathing. So please make sure you're carrying out deep breathing exercise. What this will assist you with is, it will help you with your energy levels. When pranayama takes place, an extraordinary amount of positive energy enters your body, and then any disease that is present or any energy that is imbalanced is present. When you leave out a breath, that breath goes out of your body. Okay, so even when you're chanting, chant according to like breathing in and breathing out. That will assist you. And once again, you have a lot of pranayama practices. You can use that, of course. And personally for me, Baba Ramdev's method of pranayama has helped me personally. You can look into that. I'll of course leave a link for some videos that I personally find helpful. Or if you can actually learn from a teacher of pranayama, that can be helpful as well. That is in fact better, because then you have like a one-on-one guide to assist you in the process. But pranayama is going to be an important spiritual process in the next spiritual cycle for you. Remember, do not hold on to things, especially things that have happened in your past. Okay, so remember to release things. Okay, forget the past, move on from the past, because if you carry the past with you, it just becomes emotional baggage. Remember, release whatever it is that doesn't belong. Yeah, sometimes you have to release things even for which you've not received a sorry yourself. Okay, because sometimes what happens is, if we wait for a sorry, that sorry is not going to be coming. And honestly, even if you get that sorry is never going to be enough. Okay, that's the instinct I'm picking up here. So once again, release things that do not belong. Along with that, these are also things that are in your possession, that are a part of your old self. Release it, that may not be a part of who you are anymore in the future. Yeah, so that's important. And remember, eagle can actually be your spirit bird, or that totem of yours. Once again, eagle medicine is important. And when it comes to eagle, okay, eagle always flies at a greater height than other birds. So once again, you're supposed to be rising above others. So this basically means your level of spirituality can actually be very different from the people who are in your life, and they may not understand you, and that is absolutely okay. See, when we incarnate on planet Earth, we are a soul, an individual soul, okay? And our spiritual practices are actually made according to our own souls. They're supposed to be catering to us as individuals and not as a collective. When it comes to the collective, you may have a specific tribe, but that tribe may not be a part of your immediate circle. So you may not find it in terms of, maybe your family or your immediate friend circle. They may actually be complete strangers for you that you may meet on the internet sometimes, and that is how it is going to be for you. And you are sort of supposed to be a lone warrior when it comes to your individual spiritual practice. So you don't really have a precedent to follow. Remember, Mother Mary's life was very unique to her. Okay, and remember, you were attracted to her pile. So once again, her path is very simple. It is a path of devotion, it is a path of love, it is a path of forgiveness, it is a path of peace. And that is your path. Once again, like the eagle, you're meant to be different. Your path is unique. Honor that about yourself. Alright, and that is the most important thing when it comes to you. And remember to follow one God if that is possible for you. And even if you're a Hindu, stick to one. Yeah, and if not, you can absolutely stick to the power of Omkara, because in the end, it is the power of Omkara that is the root of everything. Yeah, so that will help you, in fact, channel your energies beautifully, because it will help you from being distracted from your goal, your ultimate goal. Yeah, that is what is coming up for you. Overall, that is the message that you have when it comes to your next spiritual cycle. And I am going to be praying for you, Palwan, because I know for sure your journey is supposed to be beautiful. Any journey that is a journey of peace is a beautiful journey. So, I honestly don't see any problems for you or obstacles for you. If an obstacle is there, it is just to help you go to the next level. That is the purpose of obstacles. Yeah. Overall, I'll leave you here with nothing but my best wishes for your path. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, and if you've picked pile 2, these are the messages that you're supposed to be receiving when it comes to your next spiritual cycle. Now, let me tell you this. The next spiritual cycle for you is a cycle of abundant growth. But along with that, it is also a cycle of infinite learning for you. Your soul is really receiving an upgrade, but along with that upgrade, I feel like there is a lot of area that you need to cover. Okay, so the process is long, and there is going to be a number of challenges that you may face along the way, but those challenges are not going to be deterring you from achieving whatever it is that your soul is intending to achieve right now. And remember, you have chosen Mahavtar Babaji, and Mahavtar Babaji is but the greatest attended master ever. So whenever you feel like you're struggling when it comes to your spiritual life, or you feel like you're being deviated in certain cases, call upon him, call upon his energy, and you will just know what the right step to take is. Okay, remember, you're expanding, your soul is expanding, there is a lot to learn. And interestingly, you're being called in one specific direction. So it may so happen that your spiritual practices may change. If possibly you've been chanting for the longest time, now you'll feel like, I just want to meditate all the time. Or if you've been meditating all the time, you may be driven to a different spiritual practice. Sometimes it may also happen that you will be called in a new area entirely. So explore that. What is happening is, I get a feeling like maybe a new ascended master or a new way of being is calling to you. So answer the call if that is what you instinctively feel is right for you. Because remember, you're growing as a soul, and when a soul is growing, sometimes the teacher changes. Okay, so that may be happening for you. So that is something you need to be aware of. Awakening. Remember this, if you have reached this video right now, wherever you are in your life, the process of awakening has started for you. So you are going to be getting this instinctively feeling like things are changing, I am changing, my life is changing, so that may be happening. It is going to be a new way of being for you. And what is going to be happening, your body may undergo a lot of changes. Sometimes it may happen that you may feel emotionally up and down a lot of times, or you may feel slight amount of weakness and fatigue. It is because of the tremendous amount of energy levels that are coming towards you. And when you realize that is happening, grounding is important. Especially for you, if you can, sit at night, just sit. Okay, not anything, just sit. And think of yourself receiving the grace of the universe. Think about yourself as receiving a grace from some kind of ascended master, because that will help you in your process tremendously. And because the energy of the night is going to be very strong, that will help you sort of balance your emotions a lot more easier. Yeah, of course, morning meditations you can continue with it for people who are, but maybe sit at night at least for 10 minutes or so. That will help you. Now, you may suffer with a little bit of fear. You may feel like I don't really know what I'm doing, or sometimes, when it comes to your spiritual area, you may feel like you're being tested. But remember, without a test, you will never evolve as a human being. Okay, and remember this, there is nothing to fear, because if you have Mahavtar Babaji showing up, you're already in safe hands. And Mahavtar Babaji always makes sure that his student or the person that he's associated with always comes through with flying colors. So there's nothing to worry about. Fear is a very natural emotion sometimes in spiritual life, because it's something we've not done before. So okay, that's something that you may face. And interestingly, you may be called on a spiritual journey. Okay, and I see this as a physical journey. So if you feel like you want to all of a sudden go to a place of worship, this can be a temple, this can be a mosque, this can be a church, any place of worship, or even sometimes this could be just a natural setting. Sometimes this could be like you are going at a beach and you may feel like, oh, this is the place I'm really feeling like myself. Or you may visit a garden and you may feel like, oh, I feel at my spiritual best when I'm at this place. Remember, this is a specific place, okay? So if you're driven to a specific place, it is for a reason. But spiritual journey is definitely possible for you. And remember, once again, I told you, you may be called in a new direction entirely. So don't be afraid of releasing the past. If certain spiritual practices are no longer okay with you, or you may feel like I want to leave this, it's okay to leave that. It's okay to shed a skin, because the kind of period you're going to be entering next, there is a lot to let go already. Yeah, so remember, you're a new person now, you're going to be a new person now, and new things are going to be happening for you. So the old experiences have prepared you up until this point is what is coming through. And remember, sometimes it's happening that you know certain things are not working for you. You know this spiritual practice, you've been going out for this time and again, but it is not working for you. Do not be afraid to quit. Even this may, translate when it comes to your personal life. If you are like trying hard when it comes to achieving success, or when it comes to one area of your life you feel like it's not working out, don't be afraid to move away from it, because I feel like a lot is changing in your life. Some of you may also be driven to changing your area of your work, or maybe a new job or a career. It's absolutely okay. It just means that you're being called in a new direction, which is more supportive of you as the person that you're supposed to be. Remember, move out of stagnation, move out of your previous energies. Very important. And this is so interesting. Art therapy may actually help you a great deal. So when it comes to art therapy, if you're called to painting all of a sudden, or just expressing yourself out on a paper, that will be beautiful. Or when it comes to certain people, they're very good at painting images, or they're very good at painting, names of God. If that is something that is calling out to you, then that is definitely an area that you need to get into. But creativity, art especially, is a huge part of your spiritual process, and that is coming up for you. And yoga is a path that you may be called to take, and in fact yoga will help you a great deal when it comes to managing your energy upgrades. Remember, when it comes to yoga, if you belong to a culture which does not support the practices of yoga or repeating a mantra, remember, you can just make use of the physical exercises without the mantra part. It's absolutely okay. Yoga, you can actually use it to your advantage in whichever way possible. But when it comes to managing your energies because of bodily movement, yoga will be helpful. Okay, it will enhance your spiritual level, is what is coming through. For a couple of you, you may in fact be inspired to become a yoga teacher yourself, or to teach yoga to other people. If that is happening, go in that direction. Not only will you progress spiritually, but also you will then become a teacher in the future, a spiritual teacher at that too. Okay, just putting it out there. But yoga clearly needs to be a part of your life. Interestingly, you've picked up Hanumana, and Hanumana is like the greatest devotee ever. His devotion to Lord Raama is second to none. So once again, this talks about following one spiritual path, following one God. If that is something that is possible for you, please do that, because in the end it all comes down to one energy. You can call it the power of Omkara, you can call it the power of Allah, you can call it the power of God. Okay, it's that one energy that you are being led to right now. Just like Hanumana, he was eternally for his life devoted to Lord Raama. Okay, so you can pick out according to whatever it is that speaks to you. Of course, this can also be in the form of a worship of a saint, which I always encourage for you pile to. Yeah, but one energy, one power, that is important when it comes to your future. And remember this, it's important for you to be pure at all point of time. Once again, hygiene is going to be very important. So the clothes you wear, they're supposed to be super clean, your energy is supposed to clean, and your home is supposed to be very clean. Remember, purity is important if you are a spiritual being on a spiritual process, because dirt, once again, is negative energy. So please make sure you're maintaining purity, and purity of thought is important. So your thought towards another individual, your thoughts to your own self and towards your life, make sure you maintain purity in everything that you do. Yeah, once again, you have to have a clean slate. Forgiveness is important. Clean slate, remember, every single day when you wake up, remember to wake up with a clean slate. So that is a question that you should be asking yourself multiple times during the day. Is my slate clean? Am I pure enough? And when it comes to sitting for meditation, if you can just wash your face, wash your hands, that will be beautiful for you. Then, the connection will be much more stronger. And remember something, offerings are important, and especially these offerings are important for the universe at large, but also for your ancestors. So when it comes to ancestors, I am talking about not only ancestors belonging to your family, but people who've come before you. So this talks about ascended masters, this talks about, people who you admire, or saints for that matter. But offerings are going to be very, very important. Remember, this can be something as simple as bowing down to them, or just being grateful for them, or the greatest of amount of offering is your own self, complete surrender to a spiritual master, to an ascended teacher, or to one God that you believe in. But offering is very, very important for you, and that will help you in your journey forward. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. Remember, you may be afraid sometimes. It's okay to be afraid, because you remember, you're getting into the process of ascension now. You're awakening to that highest reality, and once again, it's a very higher power journey. If you're called to taking a spiritual journey physically, take it. You'll benefit from it a great deal. Yeah, answer the call, because the call is coming towards you. And if you cannot really think about anything, or you feel like you're overwhelmed, call upon Mahavtar Babaji to make your process easier. Overall, these are the messages for your next spiritual cycle. Please pay attention. If you feel like, come back and watch these videos and write it down. Okay, and make sure if you can just take up at least 1 or 2 things, I'll feel like I've done my job. Yeah, remember, I'm going to be praying for you every step of the way for your spiritual practice, and I just want you guys to be connected to that divinity, because in that divinity lies the ultimate peace and ultimate happiness, because that is our job as human beings, to connect with our creator. That is the purpose of human existence in itself. Yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, and if you've picked pile 3, these are the messages that you're supposed to be receiving for the next spiritual cycle when it comes to you. Now, interestingly for you, pile 3, your spiritual cycle is a cycle of infinite beauty, and it is a cycle that is very simple. You have to show up with love. You have to show up with devotion, and you have to be dedicated enough to make your spiritual life a priority for yourself. Okay, so this involves making sure that you're setting time aside every day just to take care of your spiritual life, just to be connected to that divinity, and to make sure that you make your presence felt in the kingdom of God. Yeah, that's important for you, because when you show up with love, half of your job is done. The next steps will be taken by the divine towards you. That is your path. It's very, very simple. Because what is happening, for you, just by showing up with a lot of love for the divine, it's almost like the kingdom of God is opening its secrets towards you. You're going to be finding newer sources of spirituality to connect with. You may feel like you're learning organically, like you're not even making that much of an effort, and you grow tremendously. Maybe you hear something on the television, or you just pick up your phone and you come across a video that teaches you a lot. So things are going to be happening a lot more organically, and hence your job is just to show up, but make time for it. That's most important. And interestingly, when it comes to your next spiritual cycle, it will be beneficial for you to go alone when it comes to doing it. It's great to have people who are like spiritual friends, but when it comes to your journey, try and maintain boundaries with other people. So especially when it comes to what you're doing spiritually, do not reveal it to somebody. Okay, because sometimes what happens is, when you reveal it, the magic sort of vanishes out of it. And remember, in your journey, it is a connection between you and the divine who created you. So there is no space for somebody else to enter anyway other than your spiritual teacher. So please make sure whenever it comes to your spiritual life, you maintain a boundary and you maintain secrecy. Very, very important. And especially when it comes to the downloads that you're going to be receiving, do not reveal it to just about anybody. Okay, because that is a sacred communication meant for very few people. Okay, now the reason why this is being told is, it may so happen that the progress that you're making spiritually is a lot more quicker than people around you, and then envy becomes a very natural thing. Okay, because envy is a natural part of a human existence unless you consciously get over it. Yeah, and remember, everybody is not on the same level spiritually. One person is going to be different, the other is going to be different. It all depends on how much effort a person puts in. So if you're making more effort, you're definitely going to be much higher, and evil eye is a very real thing, trust me. Yeah. And okay, sometimes you may feel like that you don't belong on planet earth as well, and because you may feel like your spiritual life is so much of a sanctuary for you that you don't want to like belong to the normal people of planet earth. But remember, that will not work. You need to have a normal human life. You need to have a normalcy in your life as well, because we are of course spiritual beings, but we are put on planet earth to experience some things, experience certain relationships, experience certain hardships sometimes as well, so that we learn and grow as souls and return to our creator. Yeah. So when it comes to your feelings like I don't belong on planet earth, or I really don't belong with these humans, natural, but try and then make yourself a part of planet earth. Yeah. But once again, you have to ensure that you have to remember you're still a spiritual being. So it's about maintaining that connection between the two realms is what is important. Remember, the next spiritual cycle may also be very different experience for you. Okay, very different. You may instinctively feel like oh, this is something that I've not done before, or maybe the kind of inspirations that I'm getting here, or maybe the kind of downloads I'm getting here, it's something I've not ever received, and that is how it is supposed to be. Okay, so don't try to connect your experiences like, oh, this happened in the past, that is going to be repeating. It's not going to be repeating with you. Okay, so sometimes if you feel like certain spiritual practices are outdated, do not be afraid to leave them behind and pick up something new that may actually work a great deal for you. And remember, that is going to be coming in your direction. Once again, it is going to be coming in the form of a download. And one spiritual experience that you should never let go of is meditation, because meditation is the crucial thing for you according to what I'm seeing when it comes to your cards. Interestingly, forgiveness is going to be important. Okay, and when it comes to forgiveness, this involves not only people who are physically present with you on this planet. Sometimes what happens is there are certain people maybe in your family, or certain people who've actually passed away, and you're like you hold some kind of grudge against them, or you feel like oh, I could have received this from this person, but I did not receive it from them, or I wish this could have happened, that could have happened. So then when it comes to forgiveness, you're supposed to be forgiving just about everybody, people who are living currently and people who've passed away as well. Just remember this message, because you may feel like you need that. Yeah, but forgiveness is very, very important for you. And you have to constantly make sure when it comes to the next level of your spiritual life that you keep reading. So reading spiritual books is going to be very important for you. What I'll do is I'll try and leave links for a couple of books that have helped me when it comes to my spiritual life, and if I forget, please remind me in the comment section, somebody, because I do forget sometimes. And yeah, so spiritual books very important, because once again you need to learn, you need to evolve, and then learning through somebody else's experience may actually help you pick up new spiritual practices, and once again it may actually become a guide for you in your own spiritual practice. Okay, once again, there are so many beautiful ascended masters who've written magnificent work, and they are just a source of infinite spiritual wisdom for us. Yeah, so read them, that will really help you. And one thing that you have to be careful about is your diet. Okay, when it comes to spiritual practice, you have to make sure that your body is healthy, and as much as you can, make sure that you eat at home, because when you're cooking at home, you know exactly what you're putting in your food, and you know exactly what kind of emotions are going in your food. Sometimes what happens is when we eat outside and a particular person who's cooking it is not exactly in the best of moods, or probably is very angry, that is going to be going in your food too, and then once again those emotions harm you. We are energy beings, so energy affects us a great deal, and food is actually one area which is always supposed to be high vibrational. Once again, cook for yourself if that is possible. Good food, okay, healthy food, nourishing food that your body requires. Be particular about it. Since you've specifically received this message, you need to pay attention. Yes, remember, I told you you can give up any other spiritual practice, but meditation you cannot give up, because see, remember, when it comes to getting downloads from the universe, getting downloads from the astral level, it is only through meditation that that happens, because when you're chanting, you are actually clearing your energy chakras. Okay, so that is not going to help you get those downloads. Downloads come to people who constantly make that effort when it comes to meditation. See, if you are even a beginner when it comes to meditation, those thoughts that trouble you and do not, let you be still, can only persist till a particular level. When the divine sees that you're making efforts, that will make your process easier. So if you're a beginner in meditation and you get disturbed a lot, it's okay. That will move away if you're consistent. So then consistency becomes very, very important. It is in the end your willpower that is going to help you when it comes to spiritual process. Okay, so the most important thing for you to remember is the constant will to know your creator, the constant will to be in communication with your creator, the constant will to grow spiritually is what is going to elevate your levels when it comes to your life. Remember, your spiritual practices are very simple. Your path is very simple. It is a path of love and showing up. So you are supposed to be showing up with the willingness to grow, with the willingness to learn whatever it is that your spiritual masters, your ascended masters and God wants to teach you. Because unless you have that willingness to show up, the journey is difficult. Okay, your journey is simplest. So I really want you guys to make that effort. And remember, your boundaries are very, very important. Okay, so make sure you're connecting yourself. And once again, since you have the energies of the moon, connect with the energies of the moon and use a moon journal. Yeah, I have multiple times spoken about moon journals. I will once again try and leave a link for the one that I use, so that if you want to make use of it, you make use of it. Okay, but once again, with the energies of the moon, your own energies may fluctuate. It is a natural thing to happen. We are all governed by the energies of the moon. Yeah, if a water body can move according to the moon, imagine what it can do to a human being. But in your spiritual practice, your willingness to grow and the amount of willingness you have to grow is what is going to be determining your growth. And remember, the spirit of water is actually the spirit that you're most connected with. So once again, if you can meditate close to a water body, or even when you're sitting for meditation, if you can just, make sure that you're hydrated, that is going to be very, very important. And cleaning yourself with water, very important. At least 3 to 4 times a day, wash your face, wash your hands, wash your feet. Once again, any kind of energy that doesn't belong in your body, water will sort of make sure that it is out of your system. Once again, when you keep yourself hydrated, the toxicity that is built in your body because of food sometimes as well then moves out. Okay, so water is important. Please make sure you're paying attention to that, because sometimes what happens is people don't drink enough water, and once again, then the things that keep building up in your body don't have a space of moving out, and then that sort of translates into some kind of illness popping up here and there. Similarly, when it comes to your energy body, when your energy body is not clean, or your aura struggles a little bit, water is a beautiful way to even clean your aura. Cold water especially, and if you cannot manage with cold water, lukewarm water. Okay, that will help you. But cold water is beautiful. At least wash your face, wash your hands, wash your feet if you're not washing your body. That will be beautiful for you. But remember, since your connection with the spirit of water is strong, meditating near water bodies, just sitting when it comes to water bodies, sea, ocean, pond, river, will help you tremendously. In fact, I'll tell you this, even when you're taking a shower, if you're getting an inspired idea, or if you feel like you have those aha moments, that happens and they're very real. So don't neglect that as well. Spirit of water, wherever water is, you will feel like you're most recharged. Yeah, just make sure you keep in mind these things, because I feel like your path is very simple, and I'm glad it is simple because you've already done the hard work before. So more power to you. Keep your spiritual practices a secret, and please don't leave them in the comment section down below. I completely understand your need to share your spiritual experiences with me, but remember, I'm not the only person reading those comments. Yeah, so take care of it. Little things here and there, I try to correct people as and when I can, but it's in a broader video, it becomes much more easier. I just want you guys to have a safe spiritual practice which is away from the evil eye, because my intention for you is to just connect you to the creator, and the rest of the job the creator will do on their own. Yeah, once again, I'm going to be praying for you so that you progress beautifully on your path. Please make sure you don't give up on meditation. Most important. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.